Guys, what's up? Gerbertron here. Wanted to make a video regarding Sony's E3 presentation in June. This is a follow-up video to one that I made a few weeks ago that was more based in speculation. This is going to be focusing on what I truly expect to see from Sony in June at E3. So this will be based around Sony's presentation alone, and I expect them to highlight these games. Okay, so first off, I think Sony is going to open up real big with an exclusive game, and there are only a couple that I can think of that are bigger that are exclusives for them. But the one that I think that they might open up with would be God of War. Now, we've already seen some gameplay of God of War. What I've seen of it, I love. I've never played a God of War game. I know that's shocking to a lot of people. The game seems right up my alley. I love the fact that we're getting to see Kratos as a father. What I know of the character is he's kind of a dick. So I can't wait to see that. Looking forward to that game. Then the next game that I think that they might show a little bit of is another exclusive, and that's Detroit Become Human. Now, this game is by Quantic Dream, the makers of Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls, two games that I love. And really feel like a lot of people haven't given those games a chance just based off of what they seem like before you actually play them on face value. But they're very, very deep games with deep stories that, especially Heavy Rain, sort of go into a variety of themes that are very mature and rarely touched by gaming. There's some murder, some rape, sexual identity, a variety of topics are widely explored in these games, and they're well done. And I really can't wait to see what they do with Detroit. It seems to be based around androids and the future, and maybe some societal issues regarding androids, sort of like a Deus Ex kind of deal. But it looks really exciting. So I also expect to see some multiplats in there, and I think that we'll see some Destiny too. As you know, Destiny 2 is coming out in September, and Sony, for the last few years, it seems like it's had some exclusive stuff going on with Destiny and Bungie, which is surprising because Bungie used to work for Microsoft, making Halo and whatnot. But I think that we'll see a little bit of Destiny 2 playing at 4K on the PS4 Pro during Sony's presentation. And I can't wait to see that. As a huge fan of Destiny, the franchise, the lore, the series in general, I can't wait to see more of the next game. And once again, if you're a fan of Destiny 2, on the 18th of May, I believe that we are going to get to see some live gameplay of Destiny 2, which I am dying to see that. I cannot wait. The game graphically was already gorgeous. I can't wait to see what they do with it on next-gen hardware without the constraints of the 360 and the PS3, as the last Destiny game was held back by. So they've got no constraints. It's going to be on PC also, so I'm sure that's going to be just unbelievable. And seeing a game like Destiny that I love so much, that I think so highly of, evolve into a sequel, and hopefully the sequel that we deserve, kind of what the first one ended up being later on once more content was added. I'm hoping that we get that at the beginning with this sequel, and I think that they realize what a nerve they hit with a lot of the fans of the series with, the grind for gear and the story and the sort of medieval kind of themes, but in a space setting. And fans of the series will know what I'm talking about. But anyways, really excited for that. Another multi-plat that I think we'll see some of, just because it's a smart business decision, a smart marketing decision on both companies' parts, is I think that we'll see Rockstar's Red Dead Redemption 2 running on PS4 Pro. There's going to be an ongoing theme, I think, in this E3, and it's going to be resolution. Graphical resolution of games is going to be important for both companies, because Microsoft is going to be pushing the Scorpio, which is a 4K gaming machine, most powerful console ever made, and Sony is going to want to counteract that any way that they can. So I have a feeling that we're going to see a lot of emphasis on the PS4 Pro's capabilities, and being a PS4 Pro owner, I'm excited about that. I think people give it a bad rap. I don't think that it necessarily needs to be as powerful as the Scorpio to be great. I just think that it needs to be utilized, and the games that are out on it right now that utilize it well are unbelievable. especially when you're playing them in 4K HDR, it's mind-blowing. Take a look at Uncharted, take a look at Horizon Zero Dawn. I mean, the power of the console is important, but the way that it's utilized is more important. So I think that we're going to see a big emphasis on that with Red Dead Redemption 2 and Sony basically reaffirming that their hardware is capable. It's going to be new for them because they have enjoyed a nice hefty lead in power and ultimately in sales with PS4 versus the Xbox One. So the shoe's going to kind of be on the other foot this E3. But I'm really excited to see it. The original Red Dead Redemption is one of the best open world games ever made, probably the best Western themed game ever made, and it still holds up today. You can load it up on your 360 or your PS3 and still be impressed. And really, it's just a great game that stood the test of time, and Rockstar somehow manages to nail those kind of games with, their fabled franchises over the years. Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption. It's really amazing. So anyways, the next thing that I know that we will 100% see is a game that I'm really excited about. This one's another exclusive, Days Gone. Now, if you haven't seen much of this game, I will put some video in the background of me talking here. It is a post-apocalyptic, sort of Last of Us themed, Walking Dead themed, outlaw biker themed, open world zombie survival game. Now, if that excites you, you're not alone, because myself, pretty much everyone I know that knows of the game and follows the game is extremely excited for this game, and I know a large cross-section of people out there are going to be excited for this game. It looks great. It's a third-person perspective shooter, it appears to be. Looks like there's some open-world exploration going on there. The motion capture is the thing that caught my attention the most. I'm a big snob for motion capture in games, and it seems like they really nailed it with the way that the zombies interact with one another. They climb over top of each other like a bunch of ants while they chase you, and the way that the player interacts with the environment to kind of fight off the zombies that are chasing him and kind of corral them into one area. It's really amazing. It's very graphically impressive, and I love the theme of it, to be a badass biker in an end-of-the-world scenario. That's what it looks like to me, at least, and I can't wait to find out if I'm right. Can't wait to see some more gameplay, some more story. There appears to be a story, and it really looks like it's a more serious take on sort of the zombie world, the zombie game. And look at some of those games that have had a more serious approach to it. We've got like Dying Light, we've got The Last of Us. I wouldn't call that a zombie game, but similar. And then we've got lighthearted zombie games too, but I tend to gravitate more towards the actual mature themed story of what people would do in the situation, sort of the Walking Dead situation, which it's just really impressive. Can't wait to see more of this game. And then this is also an ongoing theme with Sony this year. The next game that I think we'll definitely see is another exclusive. Sony is killing it with exclusives. This past year and a half, moving forward, it seems like Sony is the king of exclusives, unless Microsoft dethrones them somehow. But right now, I'm going to talk about Death Stranding. Now, if you don't know about this game, once again, I'll play some footage in the background, but it's not really going to matter, because what you see on the screen is not really going to make sense to you, because it doesn't really make sense to a lot of people. The story is mostly a mystery still in this game. Kojima, the maker of Metal Gear Solid franchise, the one that, pissed off Konami, and it's really their loss for losing Kojima, because he's one of the most brilliant minds in gaming and really in entertainment media ever. And they made a big mistake losing Kojima, because he is a loved developer universally. So Kojima's newest game, Death Stranding, it deals with time travel. It deals with some, sort of quantum physics. Now, these are all theories, mind you. We're not 100% sure about this. There are a lot of theories about this game. But it deals with those two things. It deals with rebirth, possibly. It deals with cloning, possibly. It deals with, pretty much a giant sci-fi toy box just all in one game. And in on the project with Kojima is Norman Reedus, Mads Mikkelsen, two amazing actors. You've seen Norman Reedus, I'm sure. He's, of Boondock Saints and Walking Dead fame. But then Mads Mikkelsen also has a slew of movies to his credit, too. Most recently, I've seen him in Rogue One. He played a central character in that, and he's an amazing actor. And if you look at some of what's available as far as this game footage-wise and gameplay-wise that we've seen, some of the trailers we've seen, there are two of them right now that I know of, it looks amazing. And the contrast of characters looks really, really remarkable between Mads and Norman. They kind of have a good evil sort of vibe, and there's some religious overtones there, which is right up Guillermo del Toro's alley, who is also in this working on this project. And really hoping that Death Stranding is what Silent Hills was possibly meant to be, which was one of my biggest disappointments in recent gaming memory, was Silent Hills getting canceled. So anyways, that's the next game that I expect to see. But then the final game that I know that we will see is probably the most storied game, the most look forward to game in this whole conference, The Last of Us 2. Now, The Last of Us 2 is... what can be said about the first Last of Us? It is one of the most impressive games I've ever played on every single level. As a father, myself, Joel and Ellie really hit a nerve in their relationship. I know Joel's not her father technically, but the father-daughter relationship really touched me in a way that a lot of games don't, because I am a father and I have two children. And, it really just the struggle and the relationship, and watching what Ellie had to go through, and seeing the trailer for The Last of Us 2, and then seeing how Ellie was shaped by these things, and just the anger and the rage and the brutal nature that she seemed to have in the one trailer that we have available. I'm really excited to see how Joel and Ellie have evolved, and how their relationship has evolved, and how the world of The Last of Us has evolved since the first game. And Naughty Dog never fails to knock it out of the park with really any of their games in recent memory. They just are killing it left and right. And I think that this game, just like the original Last of Us, will be a huge system seller. It's the reason that I got a PS4. I know that it was the remastered version, but it was a huge selling point for me, was to be able to play The Last of Us, to play the best version of The Last of Us available. And I'm glad that another one is coming out on PS4 for me to be able to experience myself again, and to go on this wonderful journey that this game seems to be going towards, just like the original. So with that being said, as you can see, Sony has quite the lineup between these games. It is probably one of the most impressive exclusive games lineups that I can remember. And Microsoft and Nintendo better be ready, because I have a feeling that Sony is going to steal the show games-wise. Now, hardware-wise, the Xbox Scorpio, if it's still called that by the time we get to E3, I think is going to impress a lot of people, and I think it's going to steal a lot of the spotlight. But I think Sony definitely has it in the bag when it comes to games right now, unless Microsoft has some incredible tricks up their sleeve. But definitely an impressive lineup. I'll put links in the description for some more information regarding some of these games, especially Death Stranding. There's a lot to be looked at, and a lot that I think is very interesting from a fan theory perspective. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you want more content such as this, and I'll be here anxiously awaiting more information for these games leading into E3, and I'll continue to make some videos about E3 and all three of the major companies' releases that I can find. I will make a video about. So hope you guys enjoyed it. This is Gerbertron signing out.